Couch Co-op.
He's always got set up.
Hey,
Yeah.
everybody.
Hello.
Couch Co-op show.
Rest of us are amateur time, and there's Justin looking like it's shot from a movie.
I have,
Right.
I've got a 7-year-old iPad filming me right now.
I'm using.
I have
I'm
my
using
Galaxy
720.
S9, so
Dave's probably got the best next to Justin. Dave should be at 1080.
I'll have an 8K GoPro filming me in the next couple of weeks, so that'll be nice.
nice.
I did try firmware updating my DSLR, but the stupid HDMI info, there's no way to disable it. So, like, I tried.
That's lame.
I tried to be cool, but my camera's too old, so.
Justin, I mean this as a compliment, but you look more and more like a Middle Eastern prince every day.
Or Serge whatever his name
I
is.
wish I had the Middle
Rich,
Eastern
thank
Prince
you.
money to go along with it.
Yeah, and
Don't we all?
I mean, and you have a beautiful woman in your life, but that harem probably would be okay as well.
Yeah. I demand my virgins.
Once again, we are the Couch Co-op Show. I'm Ian, and today on the show we got Brad, we got Dave, we got Justin, and we got Aaron.
Yes.
Everybody, welcome to the couch. We might have some other people, but I don't know. Jared might show up. Who knows? Maybe not. He's got like crazy kids that like pull out his hair and stuff, so he can't do anything.
So he has to drink a lot of Maker's Mark to make
Oh yeah.
I feel like Jared and I are just rotating episodes during COVID.
I don't think
He needs to
been
get better
on.
at pulling out.
I don't think he's been on in forever. Because even
Yeah.
when we did, because Brad wasn't on last time, and I think it was just us four minus Brad, and Jared wasn't on.
Yeah.
And then before that, yeah, I don't think Jared's been on in a while.
I
No,
thought you
he
guys talked
hasn't.
about Star Trek with Jared. Okay.
No, we were going to. We mentioned. Oh, we talked because Dave did it.
It was Dave did it. That's
Yeah,
right. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
See, I've been listening to the episodes. Look at that.
Oh.
Good goddamn. Well, how we doing, fellas? We don't have to talk about games right away. How's everyone feeling?
Exhausted.
Yeah.
Better.
Mentally and physically exhausted. Everything that's happening in the world. Like Jesus.
Yep.
Jesus? Like Jesus? Like exactly like Jesus?
No, I mean, I'm atheist, but there are a lot of people with darker skin than the five of us that are having some very big issues come up right now. And I think that's probably mentally draining on everybody in the country that has a heart.
Yeah, we're mostly white males.
Yeah.
Trying to do my part as a good white ally and slapping down shithead white dudes. So
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot of them.
I punched a Nazi a few days ago. Well, I call him a Nazi. He didn't claim he was a Nazi, but, he behaved like one.
Jesus.
he quacked like a duck.
Yeah.
And he had a goose step.
Exactly.
Right.
Sorry, he couldn't resist.
Yeah, they're. I mean, that's kind of why we didn't record last week. It was just too much going on, but we can.
Well, I think it's important. It's important to bring it up, but it's also important to continue giving people something that's not going to be stressful in their lives. A lot of podcasts right now are reflecting on it, but still going on with the show, and I think it's important to do both.
Right. Last week was to observe. This week we'll just kind of get back and let them know that, whether we're out there protesting or donating or signing petitions or whatever we're doing, we support, Black lives.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Black voices.
Absolutely.
And
Doesn't
if we
matter.
have any fans that are fucking douchebags, you can get the fuck out. So suck a dick. You can have my whole bag of dicks. I'm sure you can suck
Yeah.
all of our dicks. Just get the fuck out.
Oh.
Anyway.
Well, I think I'm going to sign out then because I'm a douchebag, apparently.
Oh, Dave, you're a completely different type of douchebag, though. Like you're a
Yeah.
douchebag equally.
Yeah.
You're not a
Equal
you're not a
opportunity douchebag.
you're not a bigot about your dickness.
Well, when it's this big, you've just got to share it.
Oh my God.
We just don't have to. Get
Oh,
into this.
yeah,
All right,
the
get him the
cringes
fuck
on
off this
everyone's
stream.
face.
Oh.
That was epic.
Okay. Let's switch over to some. Video
Oh,
games,
yeah.
maybe. Are we are we playing video games? Who wants to? Has anyone been playing video games in this like righteous busy time where you're all exhausted? Have you any of you actually played video games?
I'm overwhelmed with how many games I'm playing right now.
I wish I was overwhelmed with games I'm playing. I would play diddly.
Go for it, Brad. What are you playing?
In the last few weeks, I started playing Animal Crossing. A friend bought it for me as a gift, and I had a lot of fun with it for a handful of hours, and then I stopped caring. I started playing Octopath Traveler, got about 12 hours into it, and then I borrowed Assassin's Creed Odyssey from Dave, who was also playing that on somebody else's copy.
Yeah, I
because I'm
borrowed
borrowing it.
Ian's copy.
Yeah, and I'm like 100 hours. I'm like 100 hours into Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and not even 60% done with it.
I think we have a friend joining
God,
us.
that makes me feel bad because I'm like 35 hours into it, and thinking,
It's a-
man.
It's
Hey,
intimidating
we got
good
Jared.
game.
Turn your phone,
Yeah.
Jared.
Hey up, Jed.
What about my phone?
turn
you
it.
want me to go sideways?
Yeah, sideways.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, that didn't
Sideways,
quite
Jared.
work. You must be
It's
lost.
amazing how much
Hold on,
content
here, let
is in that
me-
game, though.
It's intense, and for some people it's a blessing.
There you go.
because You can just keep doing it forever and ever.
Yeah.
I'm kind of burned out in all my video games, which is funny enough. I just started playing Final Fantasy 14 last week. I'm a handful of years
Right.
behind on that. But I hate fetch quests. Spider-Man, Red Dead Redemption, Grand Theft Auto, every fucking sandbox game in the world. It's just full of fetch quests. And
Yep.
I am
Welcome to
fucking
open world
tired of it.
games.
Go
Like-
here, kill these guys, grab the shiny bit, and bring it back.
I'm not going to go out on the street corner with a sign protesting about something as trivial as my video game, but I'm about ready to start fucking punching some game developers if they can't be more creative with things. That said, outside of the fetch quests, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, fucking phenomenal, and Final Fantasy 14. Finally starting to learn how to play Final Fantasy 14 after several days into it is pretty fucking gold.
Well, the one
That
thing I
game
will
was
say about
very
Assassin's
fun.
Creed Odyssey, I mean, most games are fetch quests to a degree, but I feel like Assassin's Creed Odyssey does a good job, even with side quests, where like you go do a mission and then they carry you on to another thing. It's like it keeps carrying over. While there is that
If you're-
go hunt this thing and return it to me, but there is those certain missions where you go do a thing and it's like, oh, well now go here, and it just kind of
Yeah.
Yeah, they kind of
unfolds.
change quests.
It's
Yeah.
it's strangely holding your hand
Yep.
randomly. But for a completionist, and a lot of people, especially that like to platinum games like you, Ian, completionists look at their mission log and they want to continuously make it smaller,
Well,
right?
I
you're like
killed
you're
the
trying to
mission
you're
log.
trying to
I went
yeah,
after
it's
the
impossible. in
I
that
went
game.
after the trophies, and the trophies is way easier than going after the mission log because
yeah.
Brad, on the other hand, you can actually create your own missions in the game. So there's that whole other level of like, there's like a shit ton of missions if you really want to get into the weeds
Mm-hmm.
because everyone's creating shit for it. So it's just like it never ends.
Yeah, the glowy
Yeah.
missions.
Yeah.
Anyway, Final Fantasy 14. Yeah, I tried to get back into it before you got, and I was like, man, I'm so fucking lost. I'm not doing this again.
Well,
Yeah,
you
it
also
happened to
you
me
only
too.
have the PS3 copy of it, and they ended support on PS3.
No, I have true, but the PS when I was playing it, they allowed you the PS4 update for free. So I have it on
Uh-huh.
PS4 and I can play my character, but I just don't have any of the DLC or any of that kind of shit.
Yeah,
So I
and the DLC's where it gets good too.
supposedly, well, it was good. It was
Yeah.
good.
No, I
When
mean-
Jared was
Yeah,
there
so-
I
with
didn't
me.
play any of that. Yeah.
No, but
I
before-
played
I'm just-
the base game.
I'm only a few days into this game. I'm just repeating what I've read and from the feedback I've got from other players is that like Heavenly Sword and Shadowbringers is like where it peaks and it's fun. It's like holy shit, this is good.
I was a dragoon. What did you choose?
I'm I want to say anarchist, an arcanist.
But none of that
Oh,
matters
okay.
because you can ultimately be any of those characters with your single character. That's how
I
the
like
game
that
rolls.
ability. A lot of people complain about that because it just like gives you too much freedom. But I actually prefer that. Like, I don't want to play the game 8 times and level up 8 times. I'd rather just have one character and master all of the jobs.
Bryn would argue, because Bryn's a big MMO fan, it makes someone who's a healer kind of useless, and then they haven't really focused on their talent. Because like if anyone can be a healer, then it doesn't make that person who loves being a healer very needed. So there's certain like MMO things that she was. That's kind of why she tapped out of it eventually.
Yeah.
It was fun though. We played with Jason. That was back when Jason was with what's her name?
Colleen?
His ex-wife?
Colleen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which ex for him?
Well, the one that directly led into Elena. So anyway. Anything else, Brad? Final Fantasy 14.
I mean, I just loaded Battlefront 2 and Days Gone onto my PS4, which I plan on playing both of those this week at some point. Days Gone because I need to give David his games back.
You can keep Days Gone for as long as possible because
You beat it.
I platinumed that game, so I
fuck yeah,
wore
okay.
it out.
I'm 4 years behind on almost every game I play these days. But Battlefront 2 is the free game this month on PS Plus, and I've got 5 friends that are currently on it.
Yeah,
The single
they have
player is really
warned me.
strong.
Yeah, they warned me that I'm going to walk into a room where people have been playing this game for 4 years, and I'm not going to have any fun while everybody wipes the floor with me.
Just play the
so
single
like
player
Call of
campaign.
Duty.
Just play the single player. Single player is super fun. The story's pretty strong. It's a lot of fun.
Hell yeah.
And we got a bridge crew appointment tonight. We're gonna play some of that, right?
Yeah, as soon as we're done with this episode, I'm going to eat some dinner, and then Jason and Jared and are any of you guys playing?
So Dave or
We
Ryan?
got Ryan.
I don't own that game.
Well, Dave's popped in once. Ryan's popped in once. But
If Ryan's playing tonight, I won't take his place. But if you need a fourth guy for a half hour or an hour, then I'm your man.
Yeah.
that game has so much potential. It's a lot of fun. It's a small game, but it's got a lot of replayability because of all the teamwork involved. But all I can say about Star Trek Bridge Crew is that it's the biggest dick tease of video games because and pardon to anybody who takes offense to that term, but that's listening, but it really is like you're at the stage watching the most beautiful thing, whether it's a man or woman for your preference, dancing, and then you go home and you're like, man, I almost got everything I wanted. Like, it's with the second we can get where there's more than just 4 of us on that crew, where I could have all 10 of us if we wanted to have a role in engineering or whatever. And when we can walk around the ship and actually interact with the entire Enterprise or whatever, that is going to be the best fucking experience in the world, I think.
You know what I also would think would be cool is if you could have 4-on-4 battles. So we could put our crew together and your crew together, and then that'd be
if I was
dope.
writing that.
Yeah.
If I was writing the game code for that, which thank God I'm not because I can't write game code, but if I was, I also there's a lot of things that I think that are really easy physics in game design. Is when I'm in a fight with somebody and let's say we do a system interrupt and we turn their shields off remotely, I should be able to teleport the entire bridge crew of the enemy ship out into an asteroid field. You know what I mean? Those kinds of things where you can do creative thought. I think they should allow those to happen because I think that allows you to have your art of war kind of mentality of when you're doing the what is it, the something Maru challenge,
Kobayashi.
Kobayashi Maru.
the Kobayashi Maru, one of the best things about the story of the Kobayashi Maru is that William Shatner broke into the software and rewrote the software so that he could beat it, and everybody called him a cheater, and he says, well, you designed something that was unbeatable and you're mad at me because I figured out a way to beat it. And I think that creativity should be in the game.
But can we just take a moment here and having currently watching Star Trek Discovery and in every episode,
I'm watching that right now.
the second season is way better. Anyway,
I'm enjoying the first a lot more than I thought I would.
But
a lot of people have talked trash about both of the new shows, and I think they're just wonderful in their own way.
I don't really like the Klingons in the first season very much, but
Nah.
But every
That's costume
episode,
design complaint.
every episode is a Kobayashi Maru episode. It's like there's no way we're gonna win. Oh, we figured out a way to win. We're gonna. It just feels like that's like every episode should just be Kobayashi Maru episode. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. Sorry, Brad. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's it. I don't want to take up the whole hour by myself either. I'd like to hear what everybody else is playing right now.
Justin, since you're guesting, also, what are you playing? What are you playing right now? What are you watching?
When you were talking about the Star Trek, it reminded me a couple of years ago there was this really good fan game. I believe it was called Stage 9. What they did was they were able to replicate the whole Enterprise from Next Generation using like the official handbook, and it was a first-person experience where they actually even built in VR, and you can go through the whole ship and you could like go down hallways, and if you remember like Data's room, you go into Data's room and check out, and they have it all replicated, has the format. Go into
Was his
Worf's
cat in
room.
there?
Nice.
Was his cat in there?
No, they had NPCs. They also had a functional holodeck as well that can bring up different variations of past decks from different Star Trek series, whether it was from like the original series, I believe Voyager. I
feel like DS9 would be too massive.
Yeah, and since DS9 is a space station instead of a ship, probably
Yeah, but they
not.
had the Defiant. They could use the Defiance bridge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was trying to remember, and I was actually looking that up right now because I know they had a cease and desist, but I know it's probably still floating around on torrent sites somewhere. Kind of
It's one
like
of those things where you hire the hacker to defend your website. You know what I mean? Like that's the things where you don't cease and desist them. You give them a job and say, "Help us design a better game."
Right.
Paramount hates doing that, man. I mean, of all the cool shit that have been Star Trek related, Paramount loves sending cease and desist orders on Star Trek shit.
Well, I think it's the
They
same
don't
thing.
want someone better than them doing it.
It's the same thing with like Nintendo, and there was that really fantastic Not Another Metroid 2 remake that came out right before their other version of a Metroid 2 remake came out. Between the two, I didn't play the official one, but that fan game was fantastic. And as somebody who
I still
played
need
the
to play
original on Game Boy, like it was super nostalgic to me. Even though the idea of these evolution of Metroids is kind of weird and dumb to me, but going back to what I've been playing is kind of like the same thing I've been playing the past 2 weeks, which is basically the Mortal Kombat expansion, Aftermath, as well as playing Control still. So
Yeah.
and then I'm also playing the game of like, what did I actually buy with that huge bundle from itch.io? That's like 750 plus
monster.
games.
A lot of them are
Jesus
pen and
Christ.
paper shit though, too, aren't they? Aren't they like just like some PDF?
Fuck, I don't know, man. Like, cause
Oh.
the website and the itch.io client is very primitive compared to even like Epic that people have complaints with. So I can only see like maybe like 25 items per page, and when you have like 750 plus games, that's a lot of fucking pages to like cipher through. And it just shows me the page. It just shows me a picture of what the developer decided to have as being like their splash page. So I have no idea what these games even look like. A couple of them I do recognize, like A Night in the Woods and a couple others, but yeah, I'm like, and it's one of those things too where they don't, if you download the itch.io client, they don't automatically add all those games to your library, because they said like, instead of like just overwhelming you and having like this huge chunk of shit just land in there that's undecipherable, we want you to be able to manually add it.
Oh,
but-
right. They didn't
yeah, but
want,
the same-
they didn't want it to spam your library.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's like you have to go into the email every time that they sent you to like click on the fucking link and like these are the
Yeah.
games you can download. It's like, well, just add them because I'm never gonna fucking.
Exactly. And it's like I basically use Steam for the most part as my main interface. Like if I have games from like
I know
Epic
Steam- yeah.
or EA, then I'll add them to Steam as kind of like a nice interface to click through and then be able to play games. So I don't give a shit about the interface with itch.io. But if you're telling me that I have to manually select 750 plus games to add to my itch.io library, I'm telling you to go fuck yourself, because this is fucking bullshit.
That's what I said. It's like, this
Yeah.
is a cool
Sounds
thing.
like it.
And I was like, I'm just donating this money because I'm
I mean,
never going to fuck
here's my
with this.
10 Here's my $10.
I'm never
Um,
fucking with this.
The only game I played so far is this one called Catastrophe for like maybe 5 minutes.
Oh,
it's
that
a
game
first-
sucked. I played that. I didn't like that at all.
Yeah, you just play a first-person cat and you just jump on counters, and the goal is to knock
Oh,
shit over.
I was so excited.
Here,
I'm
but
going to be honest with you.
Those are
I
probably
was
all your
excited
cheerleaders.
about that game when I bought it. I was
Oh,
drunk.
jeez. What?
I was
Yeah,
drunk.
Of course you were.
But I was like drunk, and I'm like, dude, I got to be a cat in VR and knock shit off counters. That sounds great.
But here,
I put my hat on. I knocked over one thing, and I was like, okay, I'm done.
we mentioned it. We mentioned it a little bit in the beginning about Black Lives Matter, but like that bundle is to raise funds, and they're over 2 million. They're like 2,690,000. Their new goal is 5 million. They're basically halfway
that's
there.
awesome.
So I mean, they are raising a shit ton of money. I mean, they were only going to originally try to go for 100,000 or some shit like that. So this whole thing has created a massive, amount of money. It's been pretty impressive. So
Yeah.
Catastrophe sucking
Good.
aside, that's fucking amazing.
yeah.
That's,
Oh,
that's
even if
really
it-
cool.
I imagine
Yeah.
there's a lot of sucky games in that 740 bundle plus. I mean, a lot
Yeah,
of
I mean, at its price though, at its price, if there's 4 games that are awesome, you're getting a fucking deal and helping people. You know?
I know. I paid $10, and so
Yeah.
I don't have the calculator in front of me. But if you break that down, 750 games. Let's just round it to 750 games for $10. That's a couple cents per game. I'm not
Yeah.
mad. So,
No, not at all.
but I'm continuing playing. So I was playing Mortal Kombat before I jumped on. I feel like I've got to this point in my life where I realized, when you're young and you hand your controller to one of your parents to play with you, and they just can't grasp certain motor mechanics. I'm starting to feel that way when it comes to stringing combos together in Mortal Kombat. I feel like I grew up playing Street Fighter and old ass Mortal Kombat, but seeing how people can just string like these 14, 15 hit combos, I feel like that ship has sailed and I'm on Old Man Island.
I had that conversation with my nephew recently because my nephew, who's like 12 or whatever, kicked the shit out of me at Mortal Kombat X, not 11.
Yeah.
And I was like, how the fuck are you kicking my ass? I've been playing this game for 30 years.
Yeah. Like I was having this conversation with some coworkers when I had a job, and like they're talking about going to ground control and fighting each other on Street Fighter. And I was like, hey, I've been maining Vega before you were born. So
You also have to put the practice in. It's like going to the gym.
Oh, exactly. And so it's just one of those things where like you see the combo, it has a really good tutorial system, and they give you tips if you're fucking up in a certain spot. But it's just one of those things where like my panic pops in like halfway through because I'm like, I'm trying to use a controller, I'm trying to use a fight pad, I'm trying to use everything available to me to see if it somehow clicks. And I feel like, yeah, it just takes some time, but also at the same time, I'm like, do I really want? There's other things I could be doing with my time to better myself. Do I want to spend the time to just get really good at this one game? So basically I'll shift off and I'll go over to Control, which Control continues to be just fantastic. So
awesome.
Are you willing to give Aftermath specific review? Because I'm about ready to buy it, possibly.
I'll say this: Did you play 11?
Yeah.
Okay, and did you? I think a big selling point for the Mortal Kombat or just NetherRealm games now is the story mode. If you enjoy the story mode, I definitely say pick it up because it's just a continuation of after that story, and just kind of fleshes it out a little bit. And basically, it showcases all like a bunch of the DLC characters that are in it. So there's going to be a chapter where you play Shiva. There's going to be a chapter where you play Nightwolf, and so it kind of explains where these people have been. The acting is fantastic. So you all know that they got the guy who played Shang Tsung from like the Mortal Kombat movie to come back and reprise that role, and the smirks and the looks and just like this, he has this look on his face like he's laughing at a joke that nobody else is in on, and the acting is awesome. He chews the scene, and Shang Tsung he is such a lovable piece of shit in this fucking game, and so if you're into like that aspect, absolutely. There's 3 new characters. I can't jive with RoboCop because I feel he's very much like
Weird.
he's very
Is he a bit
stiff.
too robotic?
He's very stiff, kind of like how the Terminator is, and so
Yeah.
But
and
Terminator-
I have to ask.
Is it Terminator in this game or the other game, last one?
the
It's in
Terminator
this
is in this
one.
one. Yeah,
They've actually been doing a lot of marketing on RoboCop versus Terminator matchups,
Yeah.
and people excited. Yeah, and in XL they had Jason in XL, and Jason was very robotic and stiff as well. But he was fun because you always got a second life.
Mhm.
I feel like it's the
I
same.
didn't really like any of the DLC characters in the last one though. They all felt kind of like blech.
But I feel like they have Fujin. Fujin's okay. I haven't given him enough time, but I would say Shiva is outstanding. Like Shiva just kicks the shit out of people so hard. It's fucking badass. She's very much a command grab style character, and like I'd never really played characters like that very much in Mortal Kombat. And she's able to like just beat, like she starts a combo and then goes into like command grabs through the combo and then amplifies it, and it's the gnarliest shit. It's fucking awesome. So
Hey guys, I've got a jet. I'm sorry. I'll catch you on the next one.
All
all
right,
right, brother.
take it easy, Dave.
Hey, man.
Cheers,
Yeah,
Dave.
nice,
See you
nice
around,
seeing your
Dave.
face.
Good seeing you.
There he goes, off into the distance. The shadowy warrior.
Bum, bum, bum.
Anyway, Jared, you haven't been on the show in like a lifetime.
Yeah.
What
it's
have you been
a
up to?
Hot minute. Well, I guess I beat a game, but I wouldn't recommend it. It's the Toe Jam and Earl game, Back in the Groove, the newest one.
Nice.
For the Switch?
Right.
And
I was going to ask you
yeah,
about that
I
too.
played it on Switch. Yeah, I bought it for like 3 something, and that's about what it's worth to me. I thought the Genesis version was a lot better. Just, I don't remember there being so many enemies that it just became annoying to walk around and explore. And in the original, if you walk around the edges, there was always a bunch of paths and random stuff that showed up, and there was a tiny bit of that in this new version, not quite enough to make it fun. I don't know, opening presents and all that stuff was just kind of annoying because not many of them were good or useful, which was kind of an issue in the original one. You know, a lot of the presents just kind of got you killed or made you fall off the edge or something like that. But I don't know, I just didn't have a ton of fun. I beat like the tutorial level, then went to randomize, rolled credits, and I'm like, nah, I'm gonna delete it.
How long did it take you to beat this game?
Probably a couple hours total.
Really? Okay.
Because the whole point is to find 10 pieces of your ship so you can get back to Funkotron and have your party.
Funkotron.
Yeah, you got to put your whatever Funkotron ship back
I've nev-
together. Yeah, it has the big old speakers on it and all that.
I've never played Toe Jam and Earl, any of the iterations.
This will tell you how popular it is. I had mine online, so anybody could join at any time in public.
No one?
Not the whole time I played the game. Nobody tried joining or anything. So I didn't try joining anybody else. So I'm not sure if you have to be online with a friend at that time. You know, the Switch sucks with a lot of online things, so that could be a large portion of the problem. So I'm not going to bank off of that. I bet other versions of it weren't so bad.
Yeah, I received
But,
that game free a while back through Twitch Prime. I just haven't got around to playing it because I look at it and I'm like, I feel like it's faithful to the original material almost to its detriment. So
Yeah, I mean, play it. If you like Toe Jam and Earl, play it. If you like it a lot, it'll stick. If you don't, you got it for free. Fuck it. Get rid of it. Yeah, I mean, it feels just like Toe Jam and Earl. It really doesn't seem fun because there's too many enemies.
I feel like a lot
And
of old from that era, like the difficulty setting was all based on how shitty the controls could be.
yeah, pretty much. But otherwise, on the Switch, I started playing A Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Nice.
And I made it to the Shadow World, so I made it, a good portion of the way through the game so far.
Mhm.
And the game aged very well. I haven't played it for a long time, and it's still fantastic. One of the best games of all time.
absolutely.
Still wasting my time on Animal Crossing, catching June's new fish and
You
bugs
missed
and
it where
all
Brad
that
talked
crap.
shit about Animal Crossing.
Yeah, that's okay.
That's what
I only spend like a half hour every day or two on it, so I don't put a lot of time into it. Just
Bryn's
kinda
playing
keep
it right
up.
now. Bryn's like deep
I'm-
into it.
I'm still trying to get up to 5-star island, and man, I keep just throwing shit everywhere, and it seems to be pretty far away. I don't know. It doesn't give you like a meter, like, oh, you're almost there. It's not like an experience points bar. It's just Isabel in the office will tell you, oh, it's 4 stars, and she'll give you the exact same review and say the exact same stuff. So I need to keep putting stuff in it.
I don't get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, but and on PlayStation, I can't put down the controller for Dragon Quest Builders 2. It's
Yes, I believe you have
becoming kind of an
4 AM,
addiction. It's very, very good. Oh, is Aaron okay?
He's a earthquake in King
Ooh.
City.
Yeah. Oh man, getting seasick over here. Ooh.
He's on the
Yeah.
bed or something. I don't know.
Did
What
he
he's...
just
Yeah, I'm on the bed.
retirement?
Oh,
community?
he had to put the phone on the other side of his unit. Okay.
What makes Dragon Quest Builders 2 better than the first one, Jared? Since I bought you the first one.
It made things a lot easier to get around. Like it has a sprint button, and you can fast travel from anywhere, even if you're in a cave. Like I don't even remember being able to fast travel in the first one, so you had to just backtrack a lot. But this one, it's like it reminds you every time you start a mission. Oh, hey, we could fast travel there, or you could walk there. That's up to you. You know, so it's always telling you just hurry it up. But it's still a super long game. I think there's 4 or 5 islands or something like that, and I've completed 2 of them, maybe 2.5, something like that.
So it's
And
like
there's a
Animal
big-
Crossing, but with different things.
Oh, there's loads of story. I mean, it's Dragon Quest, so there's tons and tons of story, and I really enjoy the characters. And you know, it's if you've played Dragon Quest, you've probably met most of the characters. They kind of stick to a formula, and it's a formula that I've really been enjoying. Ever since I played Dragon Quest 11, I've been all about Dragon Quest stuff. So Builders and Builders 2 have been great. I don't know. I might try some other Dragon Quest stuff because there's Adventure and some of the classic stuff available on the system. So
Cool.
I'm just really wrapped up into the world, and I just really like the gameplay. It's just fun, you know, building stuff. My daughter has her own save file, so she's playing it a lot too. She likes it. We can't play split screen, which is lame. You can play multiplayer online, and there's like a main hub island that you always come back to after you complete an island. You can invite friends to, but I don't have any friends that are ever going to play it, so I'm probably never going to experience that. But that's all right.
And I saw you trying, but I don't know. Have you given up on Death Stranding?
No, I played it, but then the day after that, Dragon Quest Builders came, and I can't put it down, man. I've been on vacation this week, and I've lost a lot of sleep. I have.
Yeah, you got drunk playing it
I was
last
staying up
night.
really late. Yeah, I mean, I've been going to bed at like 3:30, 4 in the morning, and kid wakes me up at around 8:30.
Ugh.
Yeah.
When you go back to regular work and your kid goes back to school, you're gonna be freaking out. Like, do with my son.
Well, she's still, yeah. Well, I'll go back to work tomorrow, so I've been on vacation just for the week. I won't be playing quite as late.
Is that it,
But,
Jared?
Yeah. I mean, I played a little bit of Death Stranding, as you saw, but it's been a couple weeks. I'm still really enjoying it. It's kind of fun to get around. I've been able to use vehicles more often, and that those are fun to drive. I like trying to climb hills and stuff like that with the vehicles. I think that's a lot of fun. Trying to find the path that you can actually cross.
Cool. I didn't
Seeing where
use
the next
vehicles
charging
much.
station
I didn't
is.
use them much,
No?
actually. No. Once I got
Well,
the zip
like,
lines, once I got zip lines, I was all about zip lines.
Oh, yeah, I believe that. But I don't know, like there's the big truck where you can just shove a whole bunch of cargo in the back and load all the precious metals and stuff like that so you can go build roads.
I never
They've
got
been
the big
building a lot
truck.
of
I
roads.
actually never bothered to do the truck.
No?
Mm-mm.
Okay. I stole it from one of the bandit
Oh,
places or whatever those those guys are.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Cool.
fun. I like it a lot.
Aaron, have you played any video games? No.
No, nothing.
Oh, your mic is all jacked up, bro.
No, nothing really this week. Not much
Nothing
at
this-
all.
Why do we have you on the
I know.
show again? What is no.
Pretty face.
Pretty
Just
face.
hanging out,
face.
brah.
Can somebody loan Aaron a microphone for the rest of COVID?
No. Maybe it's just his internet connection.
Well,
Uh,
Because I can hear him fine.
I mean, it's just faint.
Oh, I
I mean,
hear
he
him.
has to put the microphone up to his face, but
Up,
it works.
up him in your Discord, guys. I don't know.
Let's spend 5 minutes on the microphone setting.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no games, no Doom, Eternal. You
I
have
played
what?
a little-
I loaned you Shadow of the Tomb Raider like a year ago.
a year ago. That was like a few months ago. No,
Oh,
it feels like
well,
a
Jared
year
hasn't
right
been on
now.
the show, and he probably hasn't. I mean, he's been playing Astral Chain.
True.
Oh,
I
yeah,
haven't.
Astral Chain. That's right.
Been playing a bit of that. I've been playing a bit of Doom Eternal.
How's your headaches with Astral Chain?
They're gone.
They're gone.
I've gotten a lot more used to them, actually.
That's good.
I don't
Okay.
think it's that crazy of a game. Come on.
It was at first. I didn't play it. Maybe-
Explain to me Astral Chain. What is this game?
It's a Switch exclusive, so it's only on the Switch. It's from Platinum Games, the Bayonetta and that crew, and you play as a character, and you have this astral chain that connects to this weird little creature, and you have to fight them
Astral being,
both.
you would say.
You use them both at the same time. Like one hacks and slashes, and you either shoot or hack and slash, and you can do different things with the chain, like wrap around the enemy and bind them to the ground so they don't move, and you can attack them. It's pretty cool. It's also kind of annoying. It's a bunch of things. It's a Platinum game, so if you like Nier Automata, Bayonetta, Vanquish, that kind of stuff, I enjoyed it. It got.
I was kind of wondering.
Go ahead.
I was wondering if this was kind of a game that was giving you headaches, kind of like how Baba Is You is giving me headaches, for a different kind of headache altogether. Like either you're really brilliant or you're stupid as fuck.
Yeah.
No, it's just
I've
a lot of
heard.
like.
It's a lot of
flashy lights
neon
and colors.
flashing. It's bright. It's crazy and
Yep.
kinetic. It's one of those games.
Very
Baba
future
Is
cop
You.
kind of stuff.
Baba Is You is one of those like puzzle solving. Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost monochrome.
Yeah, it almost looks like an old Commodore game. But these puzzles are very logic based, kind of like if you've done any sort of a compute, like any like coding and programming that way, where like you are defining variables, but it is done on a almost Zelda style plane.
Yeah.
It's real weird, and like sometimes you're stuck, and then you break down, you look up the solution on YouTube, and you're like, oh,
super easy.
I guess
It's super
I
easy.
guess I am a fucking idiot.
Because that was like a game developer, like a lot of the game developers' game of the year. That game was like super like popular. Yeah.
Same thing with like if you take a break from a game like The Witness, you come back and you restart where you left off, and you're like, what the fuck is this again? So
Yeah.
I hate when.
Yeah, The
that.
Witness is pretty tough on some of those puzzles.
oh yeah,
I stopped playing after a while, and then I went back and was like, "Nah, I'm good."
No, you have to be in it to win it, and you can't stop till you win.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
Which it doesn't carry my attention. Like at a certain point, it's just like I don't want to do this anymore. So anyway.
yeah. I enjoyed the puzzles I did, but after a while, they just got really hard and kind of annoying. I like the shadow ones a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anything you played, Ian?
Ian doesn't play video
I've been playing Soul
Ah.
Calibur 2 right now as we've been talking.
Nice.
No. Aaron let me borrow Jedi Fallen Order, so I've been playing that. I think I'm about 4 or 5 hours deep into that, so I'm enjoying that. It's pretty fun. It's
I haven't played that, but I heard. Are you guys enjoying it so far?
I enjoyed it.
Okay.
I think Brad beat it.
Yep.
Are you guys
No
like
idea.
Dark Souls fans at all, or no?
It's
I
dark.
like
It's like Dark
Bloodborne.
Souls light. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say it's. Well, I've never played Dark Souls. I played Demon Souls. So
Oh,
it's,
Demon's Souls. I hate that game. Ugh.
but Jedi Fallen Order, and I'm playing it on easy. I don't care about that shit.
That's one of my few platinums.
Yeah,
Nice.
Yeah.
I love collecting ponchos. This is my favorite. No, I like the combat's a lot of fun, and I like it's well made. There's some slowdown that bothers me, but right now it's a solid game. I wouldn't say it's. I mean, the story's interesting for the most part, and I like the characters. I don't think it doesn't look particularly that great on PS4, but I recommend it. It's like a solid 8.5.
Okay. Well, one of these days, if it's on sale, maybe I'll pick it up. But
that's why you borrow it from a friend.
Yeah,
That's right.
Yeah, buddy.
I don't know what else I've been playing. Have I been playing anything else? I mean, yeah. Oh, actually, well, did I not talk about that last time? Yeah, I think I talked about it. Arkham City. I started playing that a little bit. I think I talked about that last week.
Yeah, because I think Brad was talking about
Batman
playing Arkham as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's it. Skyrim.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to delete all my
Of course,
Skyrim games, and I'm going to do a brand new Skyrim build, but I'm going to go back to old version. I think the new version is too limiting anyway. So.
Yes. You should think about doing like a if you are able to, you should maybe do a Patreon, and then anybody who goes onto your Patreon can see your streams of your XXX fucking Skyrim.
Yeah, make a shit ton of money. I doubt it. Like only Aaron would subscribe, and it's like, that's weird. Aaron's watching me right now.
That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Aaron only logs in for 30 minutes or 30 seconds at a time. Okay, I'm done. So wasn't E3 supposed to be this next week or some shit? Or coming up?
You're kind of breaking up, Brad. No, you're breaking up on me.
Yeah,
That's
you're
the
breaking
one.
up, Brad. Yeah.
Well, the PlayStation 5 reveal event has been rescheduled for the 11th.
This
Yeah,
Thursday,
this week.
right?
Yeah, Thursday.
And then the 12th is EA Play. So we have a little mini E3 going on next week or this week, I guess.
Do we want to do a group hang for the PlayStation reveal on Thursday?
We should be able to. And I should be able to
I
like
think we
stream it next to us. We can all watch it, but I can put it in the window here and yeah.
Sure.
I think I'll be at Retro Game Bar getting the place reopened. I might put it up on the big screen.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
How are they doing? So they're opening for sure this week?
Yeah, I mean they're freaking out. So for anybody listening, I mean that's mom and pop like retro video game museum that happens to have a restaurant attached to it essentially. And they don't know what to do because with COVID-19 and all the phase 1 restrictions, luckily the city, county, state, whoever it is allowing for sidewalk permits. So we're probably going to start projecting video games on the side of the building and then renting out controllers to people. So I think that'll be really cool.
You should see if they bring their own because there's a lot of disinfecting you guys are going to have to fucking deal with. You should see if they bring their own.
Yeah. I'm actually starting a cocktail program there. We're going to do bottled cocktails for our menu. I mean, you can still order a Jack and Coke if you want a Jack and Coke, but it's going to allow us to spend more time dealing with sanitation and customer service than behind the bar making 6-minute craft cocktails or some shit like that. We can just make sure that everybody's having a good time and all the controllers. And instead of like previously you would walk into, and this is true for a lot of video game bars, you walk into the place and if it's not an arcade, you rent for your time to be there, right?
Right.
So instead of like having to like reserve a TV that has certain consoles and all this other stuff, is that you just rent the controller and you can walk around anywhere you want. And then when you come back, you'll get your ID, or whatever it is that we decide on.
Yeah, I know
Cool.
Yusef, who I listen to I watch his streams. I follow him on Twitch, and I know he's like a DJ. He's been a pretty like consistent DJ at Retro Game Bar. I'm sure he.
Yeah, they're good people. And Andrew Lockhart from Rockhart Clothing, we're trying to connect with them right now to start doing a lot of merchandise to hopefully help save the company. So there'll be a big campaign for that here locally.
I know we entered phase 2 here up here in Vancouver, and a lot of the bars.
Smallsville phase 2.
Smallsville, so like everyone's like at half the capacity, and everyone's like super apart, and no more than 5 people at a table or in a group, but
I don't want to insult anybody like specifically. I know I'm not here in this room, but anybody listening, but like, in a lot of those small cities, that's Portland's Jersey. Vancouver, Washington, half the people don't even believe COVID exists. So
Well,
going
that's
into
not
phase,
100% true.
well, yeah, I mean, I'm making up my own stats as I
only-
go, but it's I can't believe it's that far off.
Brad, it's the Couve, and then there's Vantucky. There's a Mason-Dixon line, and there's people that are urban Vancouver, and they believe in it heavily. And then you go up north, and then it's like no one gives, there's no one gives a shit.
Oh, you lived in Vantucky, and
No, I live on the
I'll
Mason-Dixon.
throw it
I'm
out
in
there.
Hazeldale. Hazeldale's like the Mason. It's like that's the dividing. That's the Civil War right here. This is where it goes down.
You're talking about
It's like
Camas, basically. Camas is the Tucky, right?
It's in between 205 and I-5. That's
Yeah,
it.
We're losing
the corridor.
listeners.
The corridor.
We're losing listeners just talking about Camas, right?
What are you talking
now.
about? We never had listeners.
Right. So I mean,
Listen,
here's the deal, and this is a video game show, but basketball's about ready to restart, right? And they're going to play basketball in Orlando, right, at the Disney World Center or whatever. Over the weekend, they had over 100 new COVID cases in Orange County, Florida, just over the weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, California's up quite a bit
Yeah.
too, but they've also been
Yeah.
testing more. So like increased
Yeah.
testing means increased cases.
So this is the thing: is that Florida is one of those states that opened earlier than a lot of other states, went into phase 1 earlier, is potentially going into phase 2 earlier, and all these different things, and that's great if it's correct. But who am I to say what's correct? But what's been happening is a lot of these places in these regions of smaller cities like Orange counties, the Orlando County, so all the cities around Orlando that are smaller, like Vancouver is to us. They're going to bars and restaurants again. They're doing all these things. They're going shopping. They're going to Lowe's and Depot. They're doing all these things. And then what happens July 29th, 2 days before basketball comes back, when there's 1,000 new cases of COVID instead of 100 over the weekend, is we lose basketball, and that's the same thing. Well, no, and that's fine. Again, we're on a video game show, so basketball is just a use case scenario.
Right.
But
I got you.
But what's to say is that the retro game bar, we're trying to be very careful, and we're worried about sanitizing things and all that stuff. But with all of these bars opening and all these restaurants opening and all across the country, it's really hard to control people to behave themselves, because approximately half of them don't even believe it's real, and they don't give a fuck about the laws.
But you say that like it's just but I have friends that live in Portland. My supervisor, my boss, Nick, lives in Portland. He goes to Fred Meyer's.
You have Portland friends?
I have Portland,
you have Portland friends?
And those people that go to Fred Meyer's, 65% of the people in Fred Meyer's in Oregon don't wear masks. So it's not in Vancouver.
No.
You can't single us out.
No.
it's better than the UK.
I'm calling
UK,
out.
no masks, is from what my parents were telling me.
Yeah, that's fucked up. And I'm not calling out Vancouver for being backwards. I'm calling out Vancouver for going into phase 2 before Multnomah County, which is its partner city too.
We are a partner city. I
hasn't,
get that. But I feel
we haven't even entered phase 1, and you're going into 2 before we even enter in phase 1, and a third of our working population lives in Vancouver. You know what I'm saying?
But if that third of that working force can't go into Portland because they're closed in Portland, then they're staying at home anyway. So it's not like that's not like their fault. Even going into phase 2 and you guys are still closed, then they're still doing what they're supposed to. I mean,
do you know what the truth of it is?
Well, it doesn't matter what the truth of it is. We're gonna spike at any point. Like at any point, it's gonna happen.
For sure.
Oh yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say is that people who hate Vancouver or Beaverton or all the suburbs of our city.
Yeah, Beaverton.
They're no people who are like, I'll never go there. I fucking hate the suburbs. They're driving there right now because they want a fucking beer poured for them. They're driving there right now.
Maybe. I mean, maybe.
No. I mean, not everybody, but
King City, Aaron.
What?
How's King
Is there
City?
anybody left in King City?
Are all the old people dead? Is that?
I was going to say, is it not like the second coming of the plague? There's just bodies everywhere.
Aaron's
Still
just.
wear masks.
Aaron and Ashley are the only survivors.
Wait a minute.
They're the only people under like 50.
Dark. Let's get out of this dark, awful tunnel. Dave, you came back. Dave, what have you been playing this week?
Oh,
Good
Man.
save. Good save.
Yeah.
I have
Oh,
been
yeah.
playing a lovely little bit of that Assassin's Creed Origins, and
Odyssey.
I have to Odyssey. Yeah, sorry, Origins. I have to say, I've never played a game with so much dialogue in it. I keep on meaning to look up how many hours of dialogue they recorded for that game, because everything is fully fleshed out. You know, in other open sandbox games, you get like the main characters have dialogue, and then the side quests are just like read the subtitles.
Dude, there's so much voice acting in that game. It's
Yeah.
insane. It's insane.
And then to think that you can be a male or female character, so there's actually twice as much as you're actually experiencing.
Right.
Let's be honest, though, but the female character is the only one that matters. That male character sucks as an actor, and who gives a fuck?
I don't even
No-
know because I've not even
no
played that
offense to-
character.
But you run into him.
Yeah.
You run
Yeah.
into him, Dave.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
Demos?
Yeah,
Your
Demos
brother?
is that's the character you would play, and she would that would
Ah.
reverse. It would reverse.
So, and- Yeah, the female character would be the bad guy.
I
in that
did not
scenario.
know that,
So
but
you-
yeah.
Yeah.
So you would
Spoiler
somehow-
alert
he's
for
an
everybody.
he's an
Spoiler alert.
awful actor.
Yeah. I feel bad saying that, you know, like it's like one of those things where you like tell somebody like they're a bad musician or something, and like you don't want to like hurt their heart or like make them quit trying, but like his voice acting does not
Get
match
good.
that game. We'll just say that.
He needs to work on it a little.
A
Do you
little.
find it
It's
to
the
be
nice
too
way of
much voice
saying it.
acting, maybe, or do
No.
you find it like it? Do you find it drags it like the gameplay down at all, or does
No,
it
for the way the game is, I didn't.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to get sucked into a story, choose the woman because she's really encapturing to the dialogue.
And she's
Yeah.
funny. It's funny at
Miss Dion.
times. It's
She has great wit. She has great wit. Yeah,
she got
really,
nominated for best actress.
she's up there with the actress that did Horizon Zero Dawn. Like
Yeah.
just really, really well done. Really good job on casting.
Well written dialogue, well acted. It's just good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been playing that, and then I beat XCOM Chimera. I can't remember if I said that last time or not, but
I don't think so, but you posted it. I think you posted that this week. Or
yeah,
last-
I beat that, and what a fantastic game! I mean, if you like XCOM or XCOM 2, it was just different enough, but kind of familiar in the same respect. The main difference was that instead of like all the good guys taking a turn and then all the bad guys taking a turn, they're all like mixed in this order of turns. So you want to focus the fire on perhaps on the next bad guy that's going to come through and get an opportunity to fire, or maybe you want to focus, so there's a bit more strategy on like who you actually want to kill and when you want to kill them. So
Okay.
Are
was
there
very
any other XCOM fans? I know Wolford was.
How
in
was the-
XCOM.
How was the difficulty curve on this one? Because I know when I played the other XCOM games, I know you're cruising along pretty good, and all of a sudden you get onto a mission where it just kicks your dick in. Was this?
This didn't have that like
Official
vertical
term.
difficulty cliff
Official.
that XCOM 2 had. I remember, I know exactly the point you're talking about on XCOM 2, where you like hit this thing and the bad guys have plasma weapons and armor, and
Yeah.
it's just like fuck, and it's like dang near impossible unless you've
Yeah.
researched it.
That's what the difficulty
tech
settings
trees.
need to be on the next game. Kick your dick in, and then after that, the next difficulty is just fuck.
dot.
But yeah, I mean the
No,
difficulty was
dot.
well balanced. It was hard. I've only played it through once, and obviously, just playing it through once, the tech tree is the kind of thing that you need to know. So, I would highly recommend it. Anyone who's a fan of XCOM, and for $10 or $20, there's really no reason if you like the XCOM 1 and XCOM 2 games.
It's PC only
Okay.
right now. I have a question, Dave. If they do a PS4 port, will you play it on PS4?
Probably not. I'll probably just play it through again on PC.
You don't want the trophies? Those sick
More-
trophies?
Yeah, I can be working when I play it, so it's all good.
Yeah.
Holds up his can of Ham's beer while saying that.
It's not hams. It's everybody's brewing Mountain Mammoth Citra
Okay.
Pale Ale.
It does look like
Oh, that was
hams
good,
from a
actually.
distance.
It's got-
I
yeah,
did
it
almost
does.
buy a 30-pack of Bush Light today, so you're not too far wrong.
Nice.
Hmm.
Ouch.
But yeah, I've
It's
been
not
playing
too sad
that,
about
and then
cheap beer.
I actually went back to the original XCOM UFO Defense and was playing a little bit of that earlier today. So that
You mean
was
like the original one?
Oh yeah, the
Yes.
original.
I told Dave. I
1994.
told Dave that Steam had a massive sale on XCOM when the Chimera came out, and he went and
I
bought all the
accidentally
old ones.
bought them all.
Dave's new to Steam. He's new to Steam, so he's like, "You got to do this."
Admittedly, the only games I own on Steam are all XCOM. So I am a living, breathing, walking stereotype of everything you've been saying for the last 5 years.
Is that your
XCOM?
jam? Is PvP your main style of game?
It's not PvP.
I thought
No,
it was.
Strategy.
it's turn-based
Yeah,
strategy
yeah.
would be the best
Yeah,
description.
but isn't it an online player versus player strategy? I thought it was.
That's like StarCraft
No.
Oh, you might be thinking of Command and Conquer.
or StarCraft.
Well,
those
yeah,
kind
for
of
sure,
games.
for sure,
Oh,
for
sure,
sure.
Yeah, this
yeah.
is kind of like
yeah.
turn-based, so every character has a certain number of like time units for essentially that they can use per turn, and you can either save them and use them for Overwatch or
It's like playing
It's very
chess. It's like playing chess, but then there's an
It is.
actual battle that happens.
It's very tactical.
Yeah.
what's amazing going back
Here,
to the
here
old
I am
one,
calling myself out for.
If you like board
Paying
games, if
attention.
you like board games, you'd be totally into it.
and
I
if you
think.
go back to the old
I mean,
ones,
Final
though,
Fantasy Tactics
sounds
is one of my
fun.
favorite games of all time. So
It's similar.
when
Yeah.
you go back to that first one though, your hit percent chance is like 11% on some of those shots, and even a good hit chance is like 40%.
Jesus.
You know, on the new one, it's like 90%, 95%.
Yeah, but you'll still miss those too, which is bullshit.
Oh yeah, I know.
Mhm.
I played one round where my sniper, for some reason, just couldn't hit the broadside of a barn. It was like, he had 2 shots a turn, and he missed like 8 out of 10 shots.
Ugh.
Can
Oh,
you
I
name,
am not-
can you name your character in Chimera Squad?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, see, that's the cool thing about XCOM too, is that you can name him Ian or Jared or Aaron, and then like, oh no, Ian died. Suck it,
Yeah.
Ian.
Can I make an observation for anybody who sees the video of this?
Sure.
Aaron's video right now looks like one of those decorative plates from the 80s.
Well, he's over
Aaron
there
is a
flogging his Molly.
decorative.
He's got a
plate from the
Daniel.
80s.
He's got like a Daniel Steele pose with this like romanticized animal like in front of him to pet and worship.
That's my dog. She
That's
wanted to
why
say
his
hi,
milkshake
everybody.
bit brings all the girls to the.
I'm gonna start calling him Atreyu.
Oh, my dog decided she wanted to come say hi to everybody. So
Hi, Molly. Hi, Molly.
Here, I'll hold my
Good
cat.
job you're wearing headphones. She'd go crazy if she could hear Ian.
oh god, she
They
He has
brought-
that effect on all
Aaron
of
and
them.
Ashley, they brought her over last Friday?
yeah.
Yeah, we hung out
It
for.
was your
bit.
birthday, right?
No, nobody's
Didn't you have a birthday recently?
Aaron's birthday was a back a ways. He was like
Oh, Matt
Aaron's
Dean's
birthday was
earlier.
just before coronavirus dropped, like the weekend.
Yeah,
of-
we were gonna have a get together and it got cancelled.
I
Your
closed
birthday
the
That's
door.
right.
coming up, Dave.
My birthday shut down.
Oh yeah, my birthday's
You're
Sunday.
welcome.
Dave's birthday's
Oh, nice.
Sunday.
I got a June birthday too, Dave. I'll pass a beer across the river
Yeah.
with you.
That's a strange looking beer you've got there. It looks a little more alcoholic.
Do you know how you make this? Is you make your can and then you cook it longer so it's got more alcohol, and then you drink this.
Yeah, I used to have one of those devices that would turn beer into other things.
I mean, that's how it
I
works.
thought you still had that device.
Oh no, a fellow home brewer.
Oh,
Yeah,
Was
no
it called-
one used it.
Was it called Jesus, where you take alcohol and turn it into other things?
Yeah, what
No,
kind of
you're
fucking
thinking
alchemy is
grapes
this?
and wine there, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
I haven't quite perfected that one, you know.
well,
But I thought
boys.
Jesus was British.
Shit. He's definitely British. Manifest. Anyway, We are at an hour. So does anyone have to take off right away? Jared, I know your time is constricted sometimes.
Yeah, pretty soon, probably. Yeah.
So we're gonna
Jared, David, and I have a hot date on the Enterprise.
Oh, that's true too.
Yeah,
we
baby.
need to do some couch co-optionals. So like, just recommend some new shit that you watched or seen or read or listened to or drank or ate or
Pile on Ian here and say, like, you said give Discovery a chance.
Okay.
And I have to say, you were totally right.
So
After
good.
those first 2 episodes, it settled down a lot, and I'm really enjoying it.
I've got a massive crush on the lead character in that show. She is, and it's not just because she's a very attractive woman, but it's because like her character strength and like all those different qualities is that you're like, holy shit, I want to be on that starship.
She was on
wanna-
because she was on The Walking Dead too, and she played not quite the same character, but a similar-ish character.
Oh, I didn't know that.
She was also on New Girl. If you guys ever watched that Zoe Deschanel comedy, a lot of people avoided it because Zoe Deschanel is like a polarizing person. You either love her or hate her. But
I love that show. So good.
I'm going to say his name wrong. Lamorne Morris, I believe his name is,
Winston, yeah.
Winston on that show. I think is one of the funniest comedians on the planet.
Hilarious.
He's amazing. Follow him on social media because he does very Winnie the Bish things on his social media. But his girlfriend for like an entire season is the lead actress for Discovery, and they get in this competition of like doing really fucked up pranks. And her name is Rhonda on the show, and there's like this catchphrase is "You just got Rhonda." And it's when she would do something really fucked up to somebody as a prank, but it's actually really fucked up. Like, here's a glass of water, but it's actually bleach. You know what I mean? Like really fucked up. And so when I watch Discovery, I get really enthralled into her character. She's a very good actor. But every once in a while, she does something, and I'm like waiting for her to just jump out and smile and go, "You got Rhonda!" Like.
I think she really left. I think the reason she left Walking Dead was for Discovery. I think ultimately she got that role. And
why wouldn't you?
I think that's what happened. I mean,
well, that's how
you
good
could be
she is. I didn't realize she was in The Walking Dead.
If you can be in a Marvel movie, a Star Trek or Star Wars movie or TV series, like if you get offered any of that shit, I don't care if you get offered Arrow. If you get offered a genre major production, you say yes and cancel everything. You know what I mean?
Delete, uninstall.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Anyway, if you haven't watched it, I would say I'm really enjoying it, and
What episode are you at? Just
I just got through the halfway first season finale, so like 8 or 9.
Okay. Because the last couple episodes are crazy, or last 3 or 4 are nuts. It's like it flips and then I think season 2 is written and just it's stronger in a sense because the Klingons
My only
aren't
complaint
like
is it doesn't really fit in with the Spore drive, but
Oh right, that
I'm not
whole
gonna-
technology.
yeah, I'm not
is
going
like,
to complain.
so you have this great thing that all of a sudden we have to
that no one ever mentions ever again in
we have
any
to
of the
write
other.
we have to write it out of existence at some point.
I like that. That was what made me sad in some respects. I felt like it didn't need it. It was solid enough that it didn't need to be called Star Trek to get viewers.
Yeah.
And
I really love all of the characters in that show too. Every single one of those characters has character episodes, and they do a really good job of making you care about them.
yeah,
And it gets stronger too. Like I was kind of wishy-washy on some of them, but they get better as the show goes on, which is any show.
Did you watch the short treks, Dave?
no, I haven't watched any of those.
You should, because they've got some great character development in those.
Anything else, Dave?
No. What? Oh, I did. Oh, actually, yes. Yes.
But yes.
Yes.
No, but yes.
And you're gonna hate this, Ian. I was on Netflix and I discovered the latest Pee Wee Herman movie, and it was
It's
so
like 4
fucking
years ago,
awesome.
right? Is it like the
Why
one
would
that
I
came out
hate
like
that?
4 years ago?
I don't hate that. I
Yeah,
like
the one that was 4 years ago, and I really, really enjoyed it,
It's got
despite
the guy from
myself.
True Blood's in it, right?
Yeah.
The True Blood like buff guy's in it.
And
Yeah.
John Mangliano. What is his name?
John Mangliano, or whatever his name is. He gets
It's John, I'll
divided,
mangle
yeah.
you if you say my
Yeah.
name wrong.
The guy who was supposed to play
Manganiello. John
Manganiello.
Manganiello.
Yeah.
There is a 2-minute or 3-minute scene in that where he has a balloon and he's in the Amish camp and he's just playing tunes with it, going beep 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 beep. It is the best thing I've ever seen.
As a fan of Pee-wee, I enjoyed the film fine. I don't think it's that great of a Pee-wee film versus like all the other Pee-wee films, but I did enjoy it just
I
fine.
would give you that, but I really enjoyed it.
I don't know why you had to single me out as like I'm some kind of fucking Pee-wee masturbator in cinemas. Anyway.
I mean, other than the Pee Wee comment, that sounds like you.
That's right.
Cinema masturbator.
I can't stop. I can't stop.
Pee-wee Ian.
I think that's Pee-weeing. All right, who's next? Jared, you want to get
Is
out
that
of here?
like Hawaiian?
Jared, what do you got?
Well, this is the last time I'll mention it, boys. It's been a while, but She-Ra and the Princesses of Power, Season 5 is the finale.
Yes,
And
that's
it
so
was
great.
spectacular. It was wonderful.
How do you kids like
that
it?
whole show is really great.
I haven't watched it.
Well, nobody right here, the 5 people I'm looking at, I know none of you will watch it, but it's so good.
I loved Voltron. Of course, I'll watch She-Ra. I just
Voltron
haven't
was
got to it yet.
She-Ra's at that quality. It's really high quality
And
stuff.
actually, like
It's
my
really
girlfriend was a
writing.
huge fan of Dragon Prince and Avatar,
Dragon
so I
Prince
imagine
is
that's probably
amazing.
I imagine it's probably like adjacent to that, so we'll probably end up checking it out eventually.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's so good. Dragon Prince, Voltron, and She-Ra all have to be watched, and Castlevania.
So how
those
does
are
one
the main
become
ones
a
I've been
princess
talking
of
about.
power?
Princesses of Power. There's lots of them.
Well, my daughter's going to ask me, how does one become a princess of power?
She has a
well,
voice.
you have to be born attached to a really fancy stone. Can you do that?
A nice
So it's
rock
kinda-
that her
make
boyfriend
that
has
It's
purchased
kind of like the
for
queen
her.
and royalty. You have to be
Yeah.
born into it. It's whose vagina you come out of.
Oh, boy.
Or
Oh,
just
Jesus
throw her in
Christ.
the woods and maybe she'll come upon a magical
It's the
sword.
Church
Why
of
does
England right
everybody
there.
hate me? Why does everyone hate me when that guy over there?
I was gonna say, point to the correct box. I mean, do we all have the same box order here?
I don't
No,
know.
I don't
he's
know.
Am I
Over
pointing Aaron on
here.
accident when I'm trying
What's
to?
great is no one's pointing at me right now.
Aaron, point up. For me, it's
Which
Aaron.
way?
Still
Which
no
way?
one pointing at me.
There's nobody below you, Aaron. Not
All
on
that
my
matters
screen.
is the one that's going out to
Dag
Twitch, and that's me. So,
yeah.
anyway.
I want to know what the $1,000 beard's been watching down there.
Oh, down here? Oh.
Yeah.
$1,000. I'll take beards for $1,000, Alex.
I'm guessing there was some
That's a
stroking
daily
going
double.
on. Because that is a very strokeable beard.
You know what you should do? You should give your. Did you do it? I don't think you did last time. Your review of Blood Machines.
Oh, yeah, Blood Machines? Oh, okay.
Oh,
Have anybody
no
else watched
spoilers.
that?
No
Has
spoilers.
anybody else watched
I
that yet?
haven't watched it yet, but you should give a
But-
review and like share it to the people.
Sure. But that link is still up there, right?
Yeah,
For
but
all
we're
of
talking
y'all
about
to-
we're talking about other people too. But
I
yeah,
have it on my computer, but I definitely want to hear your review.
Sure. So I feel if you are this movie is very much a love letter to the retro wave, synth wave, outrun music genre. So that's a very much a music genre that has a visual aesthetic kind of built into it. Because it's very much invokes the idea of like how the 80s viewed future sci-fi in cyberpunk. So with neon lights, very angular looking design and architecture and stuff like that. So it very much is evocative of that kind of imagery from like, and this one in particular. So I feel like it is an extension of the Turbo Killer music video that they did for Carpenter Brute a couple years back. So
Mhm.
there is going to be some. It's not a sequel of sorts, but I feel like it's probably done in the same world, and there's going to be some imagery from the music video that will reappear in the movie. So it's not required viewing, but I feel it is kind of like something extra to add to your experience.
A corollary, yeah.
Exactly. The thing's only 90 minutes long, so think of it as just a very cool looking music video. What the hell is that?
That's my daughter. I think I need to go.
Say Ian's disappeared.
Oh,
Is that Ian?
Yeah, it sounds like Ian disappeared. I'm hearing a howling or something.
Yeah, that's my daughter. Which
he had to get off camera before he the claws and the teeth came out.
Yeah, that's his Skyrim. Yeah, that's Ian's Skyrim right now.
Oh, okay. But if you enjoy if you enjoyed Kung Fury and like a lot of that kind of imagery, or you enjoy the synthwave and like the 80s anime and cyberpunk
like gunship
aesthetic.
and shit like that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
In fact, I posted in our group a playlist I came across that is fantastic. If any of you use Spotify, that's
I need to
basically
click on that.
It's all retro wave type stuff, and the fucking thing is 24 hours long, and it's awesome.
I prefer
the only thing that sucks for
dark
me.
synth.
I have Apple Music and not Spotify, so I can click on it and then just make my own playlist from it. But 24 hours, that's daunting.
Yeah,
I gotta sign off.
It was.
All right, Jared.
Later,
Thank you
Jared.
for joining.
Yeah,
We're good.
Nice, hanging out.
I'll see you on Bridge.
Say hi to your family.
Yeah, we'll do. See you in about an hour and a half or so ish.
So Blood Machines was described to me as Kung Fury crossed with Kavinsky crossed with Blade Runner. That's how it was told to me.
Okay. I don't feel like Kaczynski has more of a meditative like kind of style. Like, so I know like he did Stalker, and so I guess you could say in those aspects maybe similar. Whereas this is definitely more leaning into a more interstellar sci-fi vibe instead of a cyberpunk vibe of like some other things would be. But very interesting. Like the imagery is really cool. I feel like they did some really cool ideas, and it's only 90 minutes, which is really nice. I feel like we are in this area now where, especially after the quarantine is over, we are going to be this deluge of all these movies they've been holding off in theaters. They're going to start coming out. But, you know, I don't know if the movie going experience for theaters is ever going to really come back to how it was.
I actually think it's going to die in the next 10 years.
Exactly.
Easy.
And so, and also with how music is now, like the idea of an act coming out with an album, a lot of bands still do it, but when to reach your audience is immediate. You upload it on the internet. If you have fans, they can now enjoy that like immediately, like a couple minutes within like uploading. So the idea of like you could have singles or EPs coming out at a much quicker pace that are more cohesive to the idea instead of having to come out with a full album. I feel like the same way with like shorts and movies and stuff like that. You're going to probably see a lot shorter experiences, which I actually look forward to because after watching all those Marvel films, each one is like 3 hours long. So it'd be kind of nice to like have something that's little
shorts, micro experiences.
Exactly. So
I mean, that's how Donald Glover releases like one song every 3 months, right?
But I think like, I mean, we got the video file through mystical ways, but like there's just too many outlets, and there needs to be kind of a streamlined way that these, I mean, obviously there's YouTube, but then YouTube it's too bloated, and there needs to be a more streamlined way that art gets to us in a way that's not everyone's creating a new delivery system every time they create a movie or genre of movie. It's just getting a little out of hand because like I don't want to subscribe to Shudder to watch this movie.
I have a Roku, and every time I log into my Roku, it recommends a different $5 a month service that I could subscribe to. And I'm not against saying I'm not against saying yes to some of them, but the thing is that I'm not going to subscribe to Shudder. I'm sorry. I love the horror genre. I love suspense films. I'm not going to pay $5 a month for once a year something that comes out that I like.
Right.
And I already have Hulu, I already have HBO, I already have Netflix, I already have Disney Plus, I already have, at this point it's like suddenly I'm paying $150 a month for the Comcast I canceled 3 years ago.
Right.
You know what I mean?
And
I feel like I feel like there's a graph of like when we talked about this before. When I moved to Spotify, it became so convenient that I didn't want to pirate. I didn't really feel the necessary to pirate music anymore. But when you start having all these different streaming services, like I'm never going to subscribe to CBS Plus or CBS All Access because I just don't give a shit. And you get to the point where everybody wants to have their own streaming services. So when streaming services start going back up, people have started noticing that piracy is starting to increase as well because there's so many different services that not everybody.
Yeah.
I'm not going to subscribe just for this one show.
This happens to every industry, though. In my restaurant and bar industry, in like the city of Portland, like over 100 bars and restaurants opened up in the last 5 years in the city of Portland, and 75% of them shut the fuck down because too many of them came in. But what ends up happening is it balances itself out, and then there's a strong market again because so many leave.
Mm-hmm.
Then another 100 are going to come in and try, and this is what's going to happen for media forever. For forever, this is what's going to happen for media.
But I imagine, like right now, I mean, just an aside, but like we subscribed to Starz for a little while, so Brittany could watch Outlander. She got tired of that. We canceled that. We got CBS
Scottish
All Access.
porn.
We're gonna Scottish porn. No, it's Scottish rape porn.
Yeah.
And then
I've seen your Skyrim, Ian.
So
that dude's hot though. That dude is hot.
Yeah,
I can appreciate like
hey, I've seen the rape episode where he gets raped for an entire episode. Like
that's when I stopped watching it. I can't watch. I don't care if it's a man or a woman. I cannot watch that.
That episode is the most intense thing you will ever watch on any. I mean, like, it's just like, holy, what the fuck is they're doing this?
I paused it to cry.
It's a whole episode. Like, generally someone gets raped and it's like a couple minutes or like a montage of cuts.
It's an hour and 10.
This is a literal British dude right there. Raping this poor Scottish guy. And it's just like brutal.
I don't know where the camera's facing, but
like I had nightmares. Anyway, we canceled that. We got CBS All Access. We'll watch all the Star Trek whenever Bryn wants off that show, and then we'll cancel that and move on. But it's like you're kind of in this like because you're in this binge lifestyle now. Mm-hmm. It's like we'll binge this, we'll move on. Netflix and Hulu seems like the things that we keep because they have always got new big things, but these little ones, it's kind of like, well, we'll just jump in for the month where we need it to binge through it.
I guess give them $5 for the month. Binge watch that one show and then cancel. But at least you paid for it. But like still,
it's cheaper than going to Amazon and buying this season for $30, I guess.
Yeah, very
right?
true.
Yeah. And Justin made a good point. When Spotify came out, I got all of my friends on Spotify, all of them. I was preaching it, going like, you're paying the artists, maybe not as much as they deserve, but you're not torrenting, so you're paying them, and it's only $10 a month. So that means that that's like buying a CD every month, like we used to do back in the fucking day. So it makes sense, and it's readily available and it's high quality. The second Netflix started doing their thing on digital, I was like, fuck it, I'm not going to download movies or TV shows anymore. And now we have all these other services that are doing a really good job of having high quality. But when I get to a point where I'm paying $80 a month for streaming services, I'm going to start saying no to every fucking one of the extras. Every fucking one of them.
And it's coming for video games. They're trying.
Yeah.
They're trying. It's going to get there. It's going to get there eventually. Yeah. And it's just everything,
Most Americans make like $2,000 a month, somewhere around there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, it's not a lot of fucking money. You pay like half of your income for your rent, and you're supposed to make 3 times. But let's be honest, nobody in real America that isn't, upper middle class or better, is actually making the proper amount of money. You can't afford to pay for all those video games, all those TV shows, all those fucking records going out. Like,
especially in these times when we don't know what's going on and people are losing their jobs and the country.
I am appreciating that they're trying to bundle certain things. I mean, I know Disney now owns half of everything, so I appreciate them trying to do like the ESPN, Hulu, and Disney Plus package. Which, to be honest, like I signed up for a special on Disney Plus for like the first 2 years for like $50 or some shit. And
I got
after
4 years. Yeah.
yeah, and after the Mandalorian, I haven't opened it since. I've been
Yeah,
meaning to go
I
back and
haven't
watch
touched.
National Geographic. Yeah.
Dude, there's some good shit on there. There's some good shit on there.
I
It's
would
worth
I
it.
would want to go back because there was a bunch of National Geographic stuff I wanted to go back and watch.
Yeah.
But
And they've been adding a bunch of really good films too, like non-Disney films.
Now
Yeah.
that we're in this realm, I will just add this, and we can use. I mean, I did subscribe to HBO Max, and I feel like there's so much more on HBO Max than there is on Disney Plus for
But,
me to watch.
Dude, I think that's hilarious because HBO Max is just a rebranding. It's just HBO. They literally we have a bunch of new shows, so we're rebranding. If you
It's
have
not just
HBO,
shows. But I don't
No,
have it.
no.
I don't have
If-
HBO though.
if you have
Yes, I get
HBO
it.
now,
I get it.
If you have HBO
yes,
now,
yes.
you have HBO Max. It's
You don't
a
need it.
rebranding.
But they tell you
Yeah.
you don't need. But they tell you don't need it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They do tell
yeah,
you
but
that
it's
you don't
it's
need
still everybody's freaking out about
Right.
something that I've had for 3 years.
I haven't had HBO ever, so it is cool that I now have it. There's a lot of films on it that I just watched Godzilla King of the Monsters,
That's good.
which is
John
that's
Oliver just
fun.
gave a
like the
shout out
whole-
to Damian Lillard last week. That was fun.
I feel like the secret of it is basically you need to coordinate with your family. So what we have going on in my household
Right.
is
Yeah.
I pay for Hulu and Spotify, and I also
Oh,
pay
I
the
don't
extra
pay for
$2 because I don't want to see commercials in Hulu, so I pay the extra $2. Get that shit.
Yeah,
on.
me too. 100%.
We do
We
do
have-
that. We do that.
We have
That's why I don't. That's why I don't have ESPN Plus. Also, is because I wasn't going to do a bundle where I don't get commercial-free Hulu.
Then we have my girlfriend's parents' Netflix account, but I share Spotify because I have the family account, so they have one of my slots, and they also have the Hulu, and then I have my parents' HBO, and I think another streaming service as well, and so we're all just kind of like sharing, like it's a very communal experience. So
It's a family orgy. It's a
Exactly.
family orgy.
so that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it without having to break the bank.
I mean, I
'Cause-
want to.
Yeah.
My whole plan was to have Disney Plus for all the Marvel shows, but those are so delayed that at this point I don't know why I have Marvel or Disney. I don't really find any of the Disney
Well,
stuff that
we're
interesting.
supposed to have one of them right now, but because of COVID,
Right,
it's-
exactly,
it's-
exactly,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's it's so. At the same time,
Just
it's
watch,
such a
just
it's
watch
such a
the
nominal.
Princess Bride and be happy.
No, it's such a nominal price because it's just I don't really care. But
Yeah.
anyway, it's all nominal to me. To
Have
a
you
certain
watched
degree.
the Mandalorian behind the scenes documentary shorts?
No, I don't want to hear why it's awesome and what they did. That show's
It's actually,
so awful.
dude, the documentary is actually really, really.
I'm sure it is.
Entertaining.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure I would enjoy it. That show is such a big letdown to me. So
That's unfortunate for you.
it is unfortunate for me, and yet great for everybody else.
Not everybody. A lot of people feel your way, but I honestly think that the same way I feel about the people who talk trash about the new Star Trek shows. I think that if you look at it as an individual unit, I think it's wonderful.
Anyway, what was I gonna say? Kind of bouncing off what I was kind of trying to lead into this with the Blood Machines thing. I got my. I want to recommend Plex. I got my Plex server running.
Yes.
Nice.
And so I have it running on a PC, and I got it streaming to my PS4 anywhere. I can stream it to my phone or my computer. But so this is kind of
So you can watch porn from all over the world now.
I can watch porn from all over the world, or I can watch Blood Machines wherever. I can also, like Brad talked about last week, but we didn't record last week, Wizards. So Wizards is on my Plex.
Mhm.
I could actually give
Yes.
you guys my Plex login, and you guys could watch all my porn and Wizards from my Plex.
Well,
server.
Yeah.
no, I've had Plex now for probably 8 or 9 years, and
Same.
what we just got to do is just exchange emails that we use to sign up for it, and we can actually pick out which libraries we want to share. So I don't do much downloading TV shows these days because just like everything's available for the most part on the streaming services, except for like a handful of things. But if you want to share, I've been bolstering my movie library quite a bit with the COVID going on, and I also have like a whole library of just nothing but like concert DVDs and concert Blu-ray releases and stuff like that. So if you wanted to watch like concerts of like
Yeah,
Nine Inch
cool.
Nails or old Motorhead shit, like you can go on there.
I have like Russ Meyer films. I have one Nine Inch Nails concert that they really. I mean, I have multiple Nine Inch Nails concerts, but this one is the only one I have digitally only. I have like some. I have Wizards. I have. I have just random. I have such random bullshit films. I don't know why. Like it's.
I don't think you guys want to watch my Robbie Williams concert.
And also, you all saw that Plex just recently added the ability that we can do group viewings. So if you wanted to do a live stream or like do
it's
a
like the
commentary,
Netflix party thing, yeah.
Right.
yes. And they also did a thing recently where they added so it'll scan your TV shows, and now you have the ability to skip the intros.
I have a
It's like how
question,
they did-
Justin. I don't
Yeah.
use it very often, but like under their channels or their pin stuff, they have a bunch of movies. So is there a bunch
Yes.
of movies that they have that you can just watch?
Correct. They added it a while back. I believe some of them. I think they're all have commercials that come
Commercials? Oh,
on
okay, okay.
periodically.
Okay.
But yes, they released a thing where they had access to a ton of them.
Because there's a lot of content on their shit too. It's
there
like,
is a lot of
'cause I
content,
haven't,
yeah.
'cause I
And-
think I had this about 2 years ago. I messed with it, but then I kind of like didn't really follow through with it. And then today I was like, well, I want to watch Blood Machines on my PS4, you know, and do that whole thing. So I reset up everything, and I was like, oh wow, all this content. Where did this come from?
But I'm really glad they added that feature because a couple years ago I had the whole series of Married with Children on my server. And if you've ever watched it on the DVD, the first season they kept the old Frank Sinatra song as the intro like credit song. After that, they replaced it with the most cheeseball-esque like fake song that just pisses you off every time you hear it because it is like
They probably didn't want to pay the rights to the
no,
Sinatra.
they didn't want to pay the licensing, which is it's
Yeah.
understandable. It's fucking Frank Sinatra, so I can understand that. But yeah, it's just
Blue
like
eyes.
you had to like just sit through like this most like just cheeseball ass shit to start watching Married with Children from like seasons 2 through 11. So yeah, after this,
Aaron-
let's exchange emails.
Aaron, what you been watching? Anything cool, Aaron?
I've been going more through Tiger. More
Oh,
of that. I just got
oh.
through.
Oh, he's
I just
2
got
months
through-
behind.
I
I haven't watched it yet.
It's good. It's really good. I just got to the part where he's running for governor of Oklahoma.
Oh, my god.
goodness.
Did you watch
What do you
it,
think,
Brad?
Aaron? Did Carol kill her husband?
Brad had a
I
comment
think
that
he
he
did.
said he wouldn't watch it.
I think she
So
did.
have you seen it, Brad?
Yeah.
No.
No, I'm not gonna watch it. No, I grew up in white trash Wonderland. I don't need to revisit it.
I understand.
I heard the lead female in that docu series, whatever you want to call it, now owns the zoo. That was a news thing I saw. Yeah,
Huh.
I feel unsure about the safety of the animals. That's how I feel about it.
Right.
Well, they're definitely after watching the series, it definitely feels like they're in better hands with her than they were with him. So,
Sure, of course. Yeah,
Definitely.
everything I've heard as well. Yeah.
but
Although-
it's basically it's one of those shows or those series where there's no good guys. They're like they all are fucked up in their own special way. And
Like shit in one
interesting
hand,
about it.
tap in another.
Okay, what's interesting about this show is you watch it, and there is a guy who was real life Scarface, who
Yeah.
ran cocaine and was talking about, well, I was arrested for killing somebody. They couldn't prove it, but he's not exactly like denying that he fucking chainsaw some dude. And he is the least interesting person they fucking interview on this show. Is this Scarface motherfucker that just tells you about the show? It is a fucking train wreck that is compelling as fuck.
That's why, like a docu series on Jack Hanna would be boring because he treats them well.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, gentlemen,
understand
it's
the
been
good
an
stuff.
hour and a half.
Jesus Christ.
Do you guys have
Right.
any other shit you would like to? I mean, we can just keep talking. I don't really give a shit, but like, we can wrap it up too. And is there anything else you guys want to add? We're excited for this week. It's Thursday. We got PlayStation. We're gonna hear about the PlayStation
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, let's even if we don't record it, let's do a hangout for that.
Hang out for that.
Are they basically going to explain like the specs of the system? Is that what this is going to be?
We know the specs.
They haven't revealed.
Well,
They
there's
haven't
been
revealed
some-
what they're going to talk about though.
Yeah, but there's
Yeah.
been some specs in Wired, so you can kind of hear about there is some of that's already been told. It's more about
They basically said that they're going to break up the reveal of the PlayStation 5 over multiple micro conferences, and this is part one of them.
Okay.
hopefully you get to see what it fucking looks like. Anyway.
Hopefully, we'll get at least one game.
Well, we have
It'll be
one
interesting.
game. There's some
It'll be really
games.
interesting. Like
No. I mean, one game revealed during this event.
Oh,
Thursday. I mean, yeah.
I know Microsoft got a lot of shit because they were advertising gameplay footage of the new Assassin's Creed, and there was no gameplay to be seen. So,
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just nice now that people are a little more wary of, especially like pre-release renderings and shit like that. So, I know there was a game called Scorn that they've been advertising, which you may have seen it because it's very much they took the artwork of H.R. Giger and they just made it the game.
And Giger or Geiger? Yeah.
I've seen an interview and it says I'm eager for Giger, so that's how I remember it.
I love that. Okay.
So if you're eager for Giger, it's H.R. Giger. I could be wrong.
His name wrong for years, evidently.
Maybe that's what I've heard.
I don't
but I
really
could be wrong.
care.
But
Ian, I'm gonna.
they're saying like so. Another little call out for bullshit is like, okay, this is running on the new Xbox, or they were having the little disclaimer like, this is how we expect it to run on the new Xbox. But then the disclaimer is they actually have this running on a PC with the NVIDIA GTX 380, a graphic card that's going to be top of the line that's not even released yet.
Microsoft has done that with every single console release, though. They're like,
well, shit. I mean, like even
every single one of them.
Sony with like the reveal of
Nintendo did that with Dolphin as well.
Oh shit! But like, what's the one Killzone 2? And there's like, oh yeah, this is gameplay. No, it's not.
Yeah.
Well,
so, everybody
you guys-
fucking bullshits.
They talk about gameplay, unfortunately, but there's also in-game engine, which I think they generally is what they're thinking in their heads, which is because I believe that a lot of that Assassin's Creed stuff was in-game engine, but yeah, you know what? Who cares? I don't really give a shit about that stuff anymore. People argue about it. I was like, I don't give two shits. Just
no.
Like a lot of it, like gamers are such douche. Like, let's be honest, we're kind of douchebags sometimes. I don't really give a shit about any of that stuff. Like, I'm excited for the game. I want to see, but I'm not gonna like get all crazy hard on for it until like a week before launch, and then I'll decide. Then,
yeah,
that's just where I'm at.
I mean, we all know it's just basically it's going to be very similar to the games that we've been experiencing before. It's just going to look a little prettier. It's going to look a little faster.
It's going to have ray tracing, bro.
Yeah.
All right, we got to get out of here. We've been talking too long.
COVID rules episode. Banter.
So maybe we'll do a little mini episode later this week. I'll probably record it. If we get together, I'll definitely record it. But so Ian. I'm Ian, Couch Co-op. I want to thank Brad, Justin, and Aaron for joining me on the couch. We also had Dave and Jared, but they left early because obviously they can't hang out as awesome and late as because their moms are like, you got to go to bed and brush your teeth. No? All right.
That was a really adorable joke. Thank you, Dad.
I'll never be a dad. Boys, it was a lot of fun. Thank you for hanging out, and
thank you.
You guys are welcome. Next week, the week after. So don't feel like you have to like ask. You can just pop in and annoy the fuck out of us. So it's been a pleasure, boys. Aaron, the quiet guy over here. He's doesn't play. You got to play some video games, Aaron.
I just haven't.
My microphone's at 50%, so I'm gonna keep it quiet. I'm sorry.
It's all right. No worries.
All right.
I get it.
For Couch Co-op, I'm Ian. Thanks for joining us. Later.
Yeah.
See ya.
That.
Couch Co-op. Couch Co-op.